everyone, it's Veronica from Blue Star Crochet. Thank you so much for joining me for today's beautiful fun project, which is this super chunky, very textured crochet hat. This has been designed as part of the Crochet Cancer Challenge, organized every year. So let's get into the project and I'll guide you through the process of making this beautiful textured hat. So firstly, let's take a look at the materials that we will need for crocheting this super cute hat. Firstly, the yarn I am using is the Women's Institute Soft and Chunky. This is exclusive yarn to Hobbycraft here in UK, but there are plenty of suitable alternatives that I have included in the written pattern, which can be found in my Etsy Ravelry shops or on my blog bluestarcrochet.com as a free pattern. So this is a acrylic merino blend and it's 110 meters per 100 gram ball. I'm using petrol color. Secondly, we will need a crochet hook. So I'm using a 10mm crochet hook to go with the yarn, as well as some scissors to cut yarn. I've got a yarn needle to sort out the ends, and of course some tape measure to keep check of your gauge and of the finished size of your hat. And as you can see, I have finished the hat with a full fur pom-pom, which is completely optional. You can also make a pom-pom from the leftover yarn, so like a yarn pom-pom, so you need a pom-pom maker for one of those. And let's quickly run over how the hat is constructed and what we're going to be doing in this video tutorial. So the hat is worked from bottom towards the top of the hat. We will start with the brim, which is worked in short rows of single crochet through back loop only. Once we reach the head circumference, we're going to join the short rows together into a one kind of loop that will go over your head as a brim. Then we will pick up stitches across the edge stitches of that brim, and then we will move on to the main body of the hat, working in this beautiful textured stitch. And once we get to the bottom of the hat, there are some rounds where we're gonna kind of decrease just to ever so slightly shape the top of the hat. Because it is a chunky yarn, I don't like to just leave it as a rectangle to kind of pull it in at the top, cinch it, because you need that little bit of shaping with chunky yarn so it kind of doesn't stand off of your head, but it sits nicely on the top of your head. So let's get on with the tutorial and we will start with the brim. So to start on the brim of the hat, we're gonna start by making a slip knot. So I created a loop, which I'm gonna place on my two fingers. Then I'm gonna cross the yarn over and grab the tail end with the loop and pull the yarn through, which creates your slip knot. We're gonna pop that onto our hook and just tighten it down to the loop. So as I said, we're going to start with making a brim of the hat. The brim is worked over 5 single crochet stitches, so we need to chain 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so we've got 6 foundation chains, and now I'm going to start working into the second chain from the hook. And we're going to place 1 single crochet into each chain. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. I've got 2 loops on a hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. And that's your first single crochet done. And I'm going to repeat this process all the way across. Okay, so insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. I've got 2 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through 2, and I've got 2 more foundation chain stitches. So at the end of the row 1 we should have 5 single crochet stitches just like this. Okay, now for the second row I'm going to turn, and the second row is going to be the row where we're going to start working through the back loop of those single crochet stitches. So as you can see, if you look a bit closer, so the loop closer to you is the front loop and the loop away from you is the back loop. So this is the back loop we're going to be working through to create that ribbed effect on your brim. So for the first and the last stitch, I like to normally work just a standard single crochet, because it gives the edges of your hat a bit more strength and stability, and it doesn't stretch out of the proportion too much. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is yarn over. Now chain one. Okay, so yarn over, chain one. Now this chain one does not count as a stitch throughout the pattern. Okay, so it's just to gain a little bit of height, and I'm going to go under both loops of that first single crochet, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Now for the next 3 stitches, I'm going to be working through back loop only. Okay, so I'm going to insert my hook through the back loop only, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2. Now through the back loop of the next stitch again, and through the back loop of the next stitch, which brings us on to the very last single crochet, and there we're gonna make just a standard single crochet under both loops like this. Okay, so we have created the first row, and you can see by working through the back loop only, we're getting this ribbed texture on our hat. So for row 3, I'm going to turn my work, again chain 1, work standard single crochet, then I'm going to work 3 single crochet through the back loop only. It's the same as we did on row 2. And then for the very last row, I'm going to go and work under both loops of that last single crochet. Okay, and as you can see, now we're getting that ribbed effect by working through the back loop only on both sides. And what you simply now have to do is repeat row 2 as many times as you need to go around your head, or if you refer to the written pattern, we need to make 49 rows of single crochet through back loop only. Okay, so 49 rows of single crochet through back loop only, and I will meet you back once that is finished. Here I have my hat brim finished. I'm going to be working across less rows than the written pattern because I'm making a smaller size, and this is the great thing about this pattern, that you can easily adjust it. So all you need to do is work up as many rows as you need for the head circumference, and then you need to count how many rows you've done and make sure that it's a multiple of 3 plus 1. Okay, so I have got 25 rows here, which means that 24 is multiple of 3 plus the 1 extra row. It makes it 25 rows. Okay, so I've got 25 rows of the brim. Now what we need to do is fold it in half, okay, and line up the shorter ends. And now I'm going to be attaching the last row with the underside of the foundation chain. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to insert my hook under both loops of the single crochet, and I'm going to insert my hook through the first chain on the underside of the foundation chain, yarn over and pull through, and I'm going to finish it off as a single crochet. Again, into the second single crochet and into the second stitch on the underside of the foundation chain. And we're going to repeat this process all the way across until we attach the last row with the underside of the foundation chain like this. Okay, so by doing that, we have created the brim of the hat. Okay, so this is your brim of the hat. Now, this is completely up to you. You can turn it inside out and kind of have a bigger gap between the two ridges, or you can just leave this at the back, because this is going to be the back of your hat regardless, and you will know which is the back as well. But I actually don't mind the look of the single crochet stitches there. So now we have created the bottom brim of the hat. We're going to be working around the tube shape or around the brim, and we're going to be working into the last edge stitches of each row. Okay, so each row will look slightly different, and as I previously explained in my tutorials, you'll be looking at this gap. Okay, so we'll be working through this gap of that end of one row, and then when you look at the end of next row, if you look on the edge here, you kind of have like a two loops of the stitch. Okay, so under those two loops, then again through this opening, through the gap, and then look on the edge under those two loops of the edge stitch there. Okay, so that's where we're going to be placing our hook, and we're simply going to start with the first round of single crochet. So I'm going to chain one, and I'm going to insert my hook through the hole, yarn over, pull through. So that's my first single crochet. Then again, as I said, if you look on the edge, I'm going to insert my hook under both loops of that edge stitch and work another single crochet, then again through the hole and under two strands of yarn on the edge. And this is basically what we're going to do all the way around the brim. So the great way to check on yourself whether you're doing it correctly is that the number of rows of your brim is exactly the same number of the single crochet stitches that you should work around the top of the brim. So I'm going to go ahead and work all the way around, and I will meet you back at the beginning of the round. I have gone all the way around the opening of the hat, and all I've got to do now is make a slip stitch into the first single crochet to close the round. Okay, so this is round one finished. Now round two is going to be the special stitch, so the textured stitch that you can see on the main hat. We're going to tackle round number two. So here we go. The round two is going to start with double crochet, okay, but the first double crochet is slightly different. I like to use standing double crochet. So you extend your loop a bit taller, place your finger on that loop and keep a hold of this loop. Do not let go. So I'm going to spin the hook around. Now I'm going to insert my hook into the first single crochet, yarn over and pull through. Okay. Then I'm going to yarn over, pull through two loops on my hook, and yarn over, pull through two loops on my hook. So this is called the standing double crochet, and as you can see, it's pretty close match to a double crochet that we would be making in the middle of the row. Okay, so that's the standing double crochet to start your double crochet row. Now we're going to work the first special stitch. Okay, so this is a standalone double crochet just to gain a bit of height, and now we're going to make the special stitch, which is going to be the repeats that we're going to work all the way around opening of the hat. So I'm going to miss the next two stitches, okay, and I'm going to work double crochet into the next stitch. Okay, so miss two, work double crochet into the next stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into that indicated stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two. Okay, now we're going to chain one, and now we're going to work another double crochet but into the stitch kind of two stitches back, or into the first stitch that we missed here. Okay, so we had the two stitches that we missed. We're going to be placing the double crochet into that first single crochet we missed. Okay, so we're kind of going to be working back over the stitch we just made. So yarn over, insert your hook through the fabric, through that indicated stitch, yarn over and pull through. And now we're going to finish it off as double crochet. So yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two. Okay, so we kind of like crossed back over the stitch that we just made. So this is the double crochet here, and this is double crochet that went back to that skip stitch, working over that double crochet that we already had. Okay, so now we're gonna repeat this special stitch again. Okay, so from the last single crochet I worked into, we're gonna miss the next 2 stitches again and work into the next one, and into that stitch I'm gonna place double crochet. So that's yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. I've got 3 loops on my hook, so yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's your double crochet. Then we're going to chain 1 like this, and then again it's the 2 single crochet that we skipped. We're going to place another double crochet into the first one we missed. Okay, so yarn over, insert your hook back through that stitch to the back of the fabric, yarn over, pull through. Now I've got 3 loops on my hook, so that's yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and as you can see, it's slowly starting to resemble the stitch pattern. So what I'm going to do is just continue all the way around by miss 2 stitches, work double crochet next, chain 1, and then come back to the first skipped stitch and work another double crochet there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back at the end of the round. Here I have the last 3 stitches left of round 2, so we can work the last stitch together. So I'm gonna skip the 2 stitches and work into the last single crochet. So that's 1 double crochet there, then chain 1 and double crochet into the first skipped stitch, just as we've been doing all the way around. And that now brings me onto the first standing double crochet of the round, and I'm simply going to slip stitch into the top of that stitch to join the round. Okay, so this is how it's looking so far. You can see the special stitches are starting to appear, and now we're gonna go on and work on round number 3. Okay, so that's the first 2 rounds, and round number 3 is just a simple round of single crochet stitches. So I'm going to chain 1. Again, the chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, and we're going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch and into each chain space between the stitches. Okay, so chain 1, and I'm going to start 1 single crochet into the first double crochet. Then I'm going to work 1 single crochet into the next double crochet like this. Then we've got the 1 chain space between the stitches, so just place 1 single crochet into that 1 chain space, and then I've got the second double crochet which we kind of worked back onto ourselves, so another single crochet into that stitch, and that's basically it. We're going to repeat this all the way around. So that's 1 single crochet into the next double, 1 single crochet into the 1 chain space, and then another single crochet into that other double crochet. Okay, so this is what we're basically doing at the moment. We're just working 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around until you come to the first single crochet, and then you simply slip stitch to join it into a round. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we can work round number 4 together. And here we are at the end of round 3, so we're going to work round 4 together, which is going to be the combination of the special stitches, but there's going to be one little twist, and we'll get to that in just a second. So let's start round number 4. I'm getting my yarn tangled. Here we go. So to start round number 4, we're going to again start with a standing double crochet. So extend your loop, place your finger on it, twist your hook, insert it into the first stitch, yarn over and pull through, then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. There we go. So that's a standing double crochet. By the way, you can totally replace this with chain 3, beginning 3 chain. If you find that easier, that is totally okay. So that's our first standing double crochet. Now we're going to go ahead and work the start of the special stitch exactly the same. So we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, okay, and I'm going to look at the next stitch, and in that stitch we're going to place 1 double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. I've got 3 loops on a hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2, okay. Then we're going to chain 1 again as previously, and now for the special stitch, we are not going to be working into the first skip stitch like we have done here. What we're going to do is work a front post double crochet around the post of that first double crochet 2 rows below. Okay, so let's go over it again. So I have worked the double crochet and chain 1, and now we basically need to work the second double crochet that we have worked into the stitch or into the first skip stitch. But to create that beautiful texture, we're not going to be working into this skip stitch. So we're not going to be working into the first stitch that we missed. What we are going to be doing is we're going to work around the post of that first double crochet out of the 2. So if I just pull it apart ever so slightly, so this is the double crochet, the post of that stitch, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's honestly super simple. So here we go. We've done the chain 1, and I'm going to now work the front post double crochet around the first double crochet 2 rows below, okay? So it's the kind of the cross stitch. It's that first double crochet. So yarn over, now go back and insert your hook around the body of that stitch like this, yarn over, pull through, and now make sure that you pull up enough yarn so that the stitch is tall enough to stand up to the height of that round, okay? So I've got 3 loops on a hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2, okay? So this is where we are at the moment. As you can see, the stitch is still kind of crossing over the double crochet there, so it's still kind of crossing over back on itself, but we're not working into the skipped single crochet. We're working around the body of that first double crochet out of the 2, okay? So let's do that again. So we're going to look at the round we have just made, and again, this is the last single crochet I worked into. So I'm going to skip the next 2 single crochet, and I'm going to work double crochet into the next one, okay? So that's yarn over, insert your hook and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, okay? Then we're going to chain 1, and this is where the kind of crossover front post double crochet comes in. And I'm not going to work into the skipped single crochet on the last round. I'm going to go to the round below that, so 2 rounds below, and I'm going to work around the post of that first double crochet out of the 2. So yarn over, insert your hook around the post of that stitch, yarn over, pull through. Again, make sure that you pull up enough yarn to stand up to the height of that round, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So this is where we are at the moment. Let's just take a closer look, okay? So as you can see, we're still kind of crossing back onto itself, but we're working around the post of the standalone kind of double crochet, the standard double crochet out of the 2 of that special stitch. So this is basically the repeat again until the end of the round, but let's go ahead and skip the next 2 stitches, work double crochet into the next, then chain 1, and again let's look at the stitch combination below, 2 rounds below, and it's the first double crochet here that you want to insert your hook around the post of that stitch. Pull up enough yarn, then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and as you can see, the pattern is starting to appear. You kind of get the slanty stitches on the sides like this, and that's the special stitch that we're going to be working all the way around. And again, when you get to the end of the round, you're simply going to slip stitch into the top of that first standing double crochet, and then to work up the height of your hat, you're going to be alternating round 3, so round 3 and round 4. Okay, so 3, 4, 3, 4 until you work up the height of your hat. And if we look at this hat that is already finished, you're going to be working in same rounds, alternating round 3 and round 4 until you reach the height that you require. And then for the last 3 to 4 rounds, depending on the size you're making, we're going to just decrease to kind of cinch the top of the hat ever so slightly. Okay, I have reached the height of the hat because I'm making a really small hat. I have already reached the height, so I'm going to show you how to shape the crown. So my last round were single crochet stitches, so what we're going to do next is chain 1, and to for the stitch count to be preserved, we need to work 1 single crochet as a standalone single crochet. And then the repeat for the rest of the round is going to be to work 4 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And next we're going to work 1 single crochet 2 together. So you could either do the single crochet 2 together by insert your hook in the next, pull up a loop, and insert your hook into the next one and pull up another loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So that's the one way you can do it. The other way you can decrease is by doing invisible decrease, which is insert your hooks through the front loop of the next stitch and through the front loop of the following stitch, yarn over, pull through both, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook. So there are a couple of different ways how you can decrease. And again, the repeat is work 4 single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, we're going to work the next 2 stitches together. Whichever method you want to follow, that's totally up to you. I'm going to stick with the invisible decrease as that's the one I did for the decrease before. And here we go, another 4 single crochet, and then another invisible decrease, and simply follow this until the end of the round, and by that time you would have decreased by a few stitches. As you can see, I am now done with decreasing the crown of the hat. As you can see, by just doing those few little decreases, it's already taking shape at the top of the hat. So what we need to do now is, I have worked the last round, and you can refer to the written pattern for the other rounds for the decreases. Now I'm going to fasten off and cut yarn. I'm going to leave slightly longer tail end on this yarn, so about that long, and we're going to pull this through to fasten off. And what we need to do now is use our needle, and we're going to cinch or finish cinching the top of the hat. So I have used the tail end and popped it through my needle, and what we're going to do is use the running stitch to now finish closing the top of the hat. So with the running stitch, I'm going to go in, skip a stitch, kind of back out of the fabric, Okay, and then gonna go in and out of the fabric, kind of weaving it in like this, put it through, and I'm going to repeat this all the way around the top of the hat, just going in and out until we reach kind of the start of the round where we started from, which is about here. Okay, so this is the running stitch, and the reason we use running stitch is because now we can just pull this opening closed like this. Okay, so you pull it as tight as you can to close the hole at the top, but be careful not to snap your yarn because I have done that before. And now just secure it by going through the loop of the yarn, kind of make a knot so it doesn't come apart like this. And I normally just like to pop the needle through onto the inside of the hat like this. I'm gonna get rid of my needle because I don't need it now, and I tend to leave this end in there for a second. It comes in handy if you wanted to attach a pom-pom to the top. So here we go, that's the finished hat. As you can see, it was so much easier to cinch the top because we have placed a few decreases along the way. It was really easy, and you can see that it has got a really nice rounded shape up the top. So yeah, that's the Sanger hat finish. So I've got the mini version we just made together, and here is the larger version. And as I said before, the faux fur pom-pom is completely optional. If I just show you, this pom-pom actually came with a lovely ribbon. Okay, so it had a ribbon attached to the pom-pom, which is really handy because you can just thread the two ribbons through the top of the hat and then simply tie them in on the inside like this. I didn't tie it permanently because if you wanted to wash the hat in the washing machine, you can simply just untie the pom-pom, take it off of the hat, and you can put the hat into the washing machine, bearing in mind that you are using machine washable yarn. Don't just chuck any yarn into the washing machine. Or in general, if you wanted to kind of hand wash your hat, by all means you can take the faux fur pom-pom off and wash your hat and then reattach your faux fur pom-pom back to it. So that is the Sanger hat tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me in making this really fun and quick crochet project. These hats will also make great gifts for friends and family if you wanted to make them for the holidays or for their special birthdays or any kind of occasion. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notifications so you'll be notified every time I upload new tutorial or video. And all that's left to say is thank you for watching. Until next time, bye bye.